Okay, Mr. Javier, let's have a look. He's on top. So far, right out of the gate, doing a really good job controlling the ankles. Fantastic work. But once we open up the space between the knees, we have to access it to a usable degree, right? Not just jumping into Z guards. So when you had successfully turned his leg all the way out right here, that's your chance to go for a knee cut because the gap between his knees is so large and you're actually controlling that space really well. So it's just a matter of pulling the trigger here, that's all. Instead of jumping into Z guards here, I would have gone into headquarters by stuffing his left leg between my legs and starting to work from that, seeing as you already had his right leg pinned on the floor. It appears as though this guy's just taking it a bit easy on you. He might be a higher belt. And then you're just having a play around. So if you're struggling with a Z-guard here and he's kind of being cognizant of the distance between his head and your arm for the overback series, you can always, again, stand back up and go back into headquarters. And you'll recognize the reason why I said you go into headquarters first is you can circumnavigate this position where you don't actually have to go into Z-guard whatsoever. He's being decent and disciplined with his frames. He's actually doing all the correct things, to be fair. And again, unless we're tight passing, like with body locks or, basically body locks, I wouldn't be passing off my knees whatsoever. Just as a rule of thumb, rather. You do a really good job getting into half guard here and then pinning the knee effectively to the inside the elbow position. Fantastic. From here, I wouldn't be reaching over the back of the head. I'd actually come up underneath, either into a crossface underhook or a near side underhook because he's given you that in the elbow prop with his right elbow. As soon as people elbow prop, it's your cue to go near side underhook every day of the week. Because the guillotine may or may not be here. It's a bit of a scramble. You could also punch a far side underhook with your right hand and go dorsal kimura, provided that you could free your right leg. And in this position here, if they are still attempting to get up and you don't feel like the near side underhook is available for whatever reason, you could always reverse crossface and C-post the top arm. So your left elbow will be across his chin and your right hand will be in his armpit, and then you can return them down back to the mat quite easily. I would just watch your knee position here on the right leg as well because you're at danger of getting knee levered. And he just uses the lower leg half guard shift to a certain degree to start to come up with the underhook. Actually does a pretty nice job faking the scoop. So that you sprawl, getting your upper body weight into your hands and then starting to come up. That's actually pretty nice from him. When we're in this position, he is covering the hips effectively, but what he's not doing is locking his feet. So you quite easily pummel off of this hook that he has in. You just place set with your left leg and then reshuffle your right leg to the middle. Or you literally could just go up off your knee on the left-hand side and bump him off and over here. Nice pummel, very good. Throw your shoulders to the mat here. Because the top hook's in, there's nothing controlling your bottom side. I would have thrown my shoulders to the mat. If he has a figure 4 grip that's preventing you from doing that, you attack the wrist and then rotate your hand inside his grip as you have a thumb line control, just like I showed in the Russian Thai video yesterday. Can't really see too much of what's going on because the cameraman's not facing us, but what should be happening here is primary defensive hands are in place, either taking your elbow to the side of your head, but it's not exactly preferable. In this position, if he has a left underhook, your primary defensive hand would be your left hand. He's now exchanging over, doing a pretty decent job at attacking both sides. Yeah, all we needed to do here, Javier, is recognize which side the underhook's on and then which side the strangle hand is on. So you've gone right hand to the head. That's your secondary defensive hand. All you needed to do here was strip your grip off your left hand, which is a primary defensive hand, and then take that to meet his hand underneath your chin. As soon as he gets to here, however, to your shoulder, it's now the job of your right hand, which is your secondary defensive hand, to come over the thumb line and then strip that grip downwards, exchange it to your left hand, and then reboot the process. You get a little bit behind the 8 ball here. You try and defend with your primary defensive hand, but he's already gone to the shoulder. It's too late for that. You needed to reach with this hand to his hand here, and then you would have been fine. But again, it looks like he's a higher belt. Looks like he's just playing with you a little bit. But not so bad, man. Don't be too hard on yourself.